Why would you trust me at all in this video who is making a review on DXO FILMPACK 7? Because the software is supposed to emulate the old film look from Kodak to Fuji to Ilford to all the known and unknown film stock that currently available on the market or were available in the market in the past. So that means that if I'm making a video on that particular software, which means that I'm supposed to have some sort of first-hand experience in order to make this review slash tutorial. To prove you, I do make photographies on film. I have made several videos in my channel. I welcome you to go and take a look at it. I currently have this camera. I don't know if you can see it. Nice and cute. Point and shoot. And my current developer is from Kodak. And this film that I have taken it, I finished it. Now I have to develop it. I kind of lazy and don't have enough time because I have a baby and a full-time job. So that's a lot of work. Anyway, the point of this video is to prove it to you that yes, I do have experience on grain, the film stock, the development process, the push and pull, all these vocabularies that are necessary in order to understand the film process. I do have expertise on that. I'm not the best in the world, but I have basic personal experience doing film development at home. So therefore, at least I can speak for myself that I'm not going to be one of those YouTubers that are making exact same video, but basically taking the word from someone else's mouth and pretending like they know what they're talking about. They probably have seen some videos, but I really doubt it because we don't, unless you're really passionate about it. So yes, when I'm making this video, I'm genuinely curious myself about the outcome of this result, and I would appreciate the a nice, beautiful film look, the real film look we're talking about, which can be from Kodak to Ilford to Fujifilm. So yeah. And this video is not going to be just a review on Fujifilm 7. It's also going to be a video on my workflow combining the DXO PHOTOLAB 8 that currently came out, FILMPACK 7, and together and as a standalone. If I have time, you will see. What I don't like, before even going to the tutorial, which we're going to go there in a second, that I don't understand why the luminosity mask is in the FILMPACK 7. That could be a part of DXO PHOTOLAB 8. We are happy to pay a little bit more price for it. Why not? Instead of getting a separate standalone software to be integrated inside the software just to have this luminosity mask, which is a fantastic tool, to be honest with you, could have been part of it. That's my only critique for now. So yeah, resume of this video is simple. I understand film photography. I know what I'm talking about. I have done film photography. I have developed films at home, especially the 35mm, not the medium format or full format. So yeah, let's move on to the tutorial. Well, thank you for attending to my TED Talk. Now we can move on to the actual fun video, which is the topic of DXO FILMPACK and DXO PHOTOLAB 8 workflow. Now I already made a video using this image, so we're going to move on to the second image, or we could use some portrait videos, but this is more appropriate for this sort of image, I guess. I like the film look on portrait photos all the time, most likely black and white. Now we have this image, a sample image. Then my typical workflow, generally, I look at the histogram. I have to ask myself what I really want from this image, what type of look I'm looking for. So straightforward, I would go for a preset this time, so that I have this overall idea about the look. Now that I have the DXO PHOTOLAB, DXO FILMPACK already installed. So lucky for me, I do have some presets ready. So either you can go to the apply preset, for example, and then you can scroll down to, I'm going to close some of this, all of it, so that you can see all at once. And then from 6 till 10 you have DXO FILMPACK Designer Black and White, DXO FILMPACK Designer Color, so it's their own the DXO FILMPACK's stock. You have the DXO FILMPACK black and white film, and FILMPACK color films, and DXO FILMPACK Time Machine. Now we're going to get to the Time Machine in a moment. However, what are the first one? They are more their in-house look. You can pick their in-house look of the designer. You have this cappuccino, cyanide, darkroom, etc., etc. Then you have this some classic look, for instance, the Acros G filter, R filter. R filter is more appropriate for skin. Let me tell you at the very beginning. You have the Fuji monochrome, which is generally the X-trans look from the Fuji camera. You have their pure gold silent movie. They are not bad at all. I mean, I'm very convinced, but the idea of using a film pack so that I can show you some real film look back in the day. We have this Adox, Agfa, all the Afka Vista, and then you have, of course, obviously the Kodak and Fuji, FP, Instax, Provia, Fuji Provia X, all the Fuji all color look. Then you also have the Kodak, obviously. You know, Fuji, Kodak, they go basically hand by hand. One is from the Japan, one is from the America. Then what else? Then finally, if I close it, we have the Time Machine. The Time Machine is probably, in a simple way to say that, the really old film photography, when you used to do film on a silver plate, if I remember. You had this massive film, you know, with the big flash, and yeah, I think some people still do this kind of. I mean, if you go to YouTube, you will see plenty of them. You know, just for the sake of this video, I'm going to show something that literally say in your face, and it make you say that, you know what, this is it. This is exactly what we're talking about. That's film photography. You know, it's not perfect, it's too grainy, and all kind of stuff. So to do that, I'm going to pick up something, either the faded war glow, war light leak. What else? We got something that for me, either this one, the 1910 Paris. You have the Great Wall 2. That looks convincing. NYC, New York, looks convincing. 40 is also another one that got my eye. Then, you know what? Time is running out, so we're going to make a decision. So I'm going to go with this one. You know what? The first one. 1827 Nipe. Now what it does exactly, so you have everything. You have the grain, the light leak from left to right, so it's not closed properly. So when you have this kind of thing, the white corners like that, it's essentially kind of like a light leak. It's not completely closed and dark enough during the process of developing or even during the taking the image. So immediately it used a lot of preset in advance. I'm going to show you some of those right now. You can see the tone curve adjusted, clear with contrast adjusted, everything is super low. And then it used the vignetting on purpose, obviously. What else? So if I turn off and turn on, you see the difference now. And this is your choice. You can either keep both. They both have their own kind of look. The curve has changed, obviously, A curve has a big role in this type of image. Let me show you before and after. So it comes a little bit of boost. And then let me compare side by side while we are doing this. So this one, probably not a good idea. No. No, not probably. We're going to stop that for now. Oh, no correction. Wait a second. There you go. Finally, you have this correction side by side. So that gives you an idea about what is going on. And I'm going to keep that image on the side to give you a global idea about what is going on with your image. Now, in the color, you have this version legacy, and here is another thing. Now you can actually either go to the apply preset part, or you can go to the color and black and white rendering, and then you can select black and white film or DXO film, FILMPACK and all that. You know, you have both options. And if I turn this on off, what happens? It takes away the film stock out of it. And if you turn it on, then it brings back the color, but you still have the grain or all kind of things available, especially the grain. And what's the word that I'm looking for? The bloom is a soft look. What I mean by that is that when you zoom in, you can see that it's quite nice and soft, where this one the highlights to shadow quite harsh. That's the bloom, for instance. So you can even keep the color. The color looks pretty nice too, in my opinion. I mean, it depends on the choice and the person that asking for it. So now, DXO FILMPACK Time Machine, you have this button available here. So when you click it, it is a beautiful thing. I mean, this is something that is amazing for film lovers, photography lovers in general. It gives you the history. This is why I love about this company in general, because you know, they're just not throwing in your face the name and the look. For instance, they're actually giving you some context, and context is obviously very well done history of photography from 19th century all the way to let's say 2010, 2020. If I click it, what it does, you have this lomography, some sample look. For example, you have the Arab Spring, tsunami in Japan, the glow of Paris by different artists, White House photographers. And then moving on to climate change, Greta Thunberg, Notre Dame, fire in Notre Dame in Paris, and smartphone photos. So it's kind of like they give you the whole history of photography in general, coming from the film to digital in the current era. So, you know, my point is that this thing is amazing. Like, they're just they're trying really hard to educate you at the same time. That's just fantastic. So everything is off. Denoise technologies, I don't see any reason why you should turn it on, in my opinion, because you know, you are trying to make imperfect look, imperfect yet beautiful, artistically beautiful look. So you know, you don't need denoise technologies and all that. And what else? You have the distortion correction already done. Well, again, back in the day, you didn't have any distortion correction. You had to live with that. So that's what it is on the FX part. And here again, I apologize because I'm going too fast. And then we obviously talked about the stock and color, but how you will add or remove grain, these grains on the side, for example, things in the corner, for instance. You know, those are important to adjust how much you need, more or less. When you come to the FX and go at the bottom, this is where all this creative film effect takes place. Starting with, and at this point you don't have the color to cool tone because that's the preset. You can actually turn it on. It might do something, apparently not, but you have this option available. I believe that it works with the color, not the black and white. That's why it was on. Now you have this grain. Now grain you can control. Choose first of all IL4 Delta. And now IL4 Delta 3200, I did not use it, but I did use the Kodak P3200, if I believe, which is the similar to the IL4 Delta 3200. Super grainy. I already made a video about it in my YouTube channel. I welcome you to go and take a look. But it gives you this insane amount of grain that is just out of the world. So if you can just remove it or slowly move on all the way to 100. So IL4 Delta and Kodak P3200 are known for this bigger size of grain and a lot of it. Now 3200 doesn't necessarily mean that it's 3200 ISO. It means that you can push it till 3200. So format manual, you can reduce the size of the grain. For instance, if I zoom in, and then minimum amount of the size all the way to the biggest possible. The blur, soft focus. So when you are blurred, this is what I just said earlier, not too long ago. Bloom. The name for it original is called bloom, which is the soft look. So you can turn off, turn on. You see the difference. So I'm gonna zoom in and zoom out. Turn off, turn on. And yeah, and then of course you can adjust the diffusion and intensity as much as you like. I'm not going to touch it for now. You have this frame, if I believe. So if I turn it on, you can add the white frame around it, or you can change it as you like. Hang on a second. I saw something earlier. Not that. This one, all corners. And I saw something earlier, not too long ago, that I kind of liked. But this one, no. Apologize. I'm kind of, I'm in between the tutorial and at something for myself. I quite like this thing, this frame. I think I'm going to keep it. I'm going to keep it very much. Darkroom 2. Let's say that's inside and that's outside. To inside. Texture, let's see, turn it off and on. So you have this light strain. But obviously you can change based on your taste, obviously, and your desire. They're phenomenal, by the way, guys. They're phenomenal. Really, I'm in love with this thing. Water droplet, not necessarily. Does not look very natural in my eyes. Black and white corner, burnt corner, cloth, concrete. Probably I'll keep concrete. I love this contrasty look. Again, I have to make sure that it's recording, otherwise that would be stupid. And give me another second. I'm going to check on my. There you go. It's recording. How long it's been? It's been 15 minutes. I apologize if I'm taking too long of your time. It'll be in light leak. There you go. Turn it off. Turn it on. They both have their own advantage and disadvantages. Advantage would be this light leak, which makes you look like this photo is not perfect. However, though, I would like to either reduce it or completely get rid of it. So, because I like this contrasty look on the face. So, to do so, I'm going to, that's color. It doesn't make sense on a black and white. So now, I let you decide yourself, but I'm probably going to keep this one for now. And I think that this white needs to be a bit more brighter, in my opinion. So light leak is done. You know, you can either go from left to right, right to left, as you prefer, from the top, from the bottom. I'm going to keep that. Yeah, I'm going to keep that. Apply tuning, what does it mean? I don't know. So going back to the normal side, I'm going to add some highlights. But here's the fun part. I'm going to use the local adjustment to apply on the face, not on the side. So I'm going to go to the luminosity mask, click on this, and maybe a nice fade all over the place, and would go a bit more on exposure, or even better, I would go reduce the black, or even I would add some more micro contrast and more contrast with it, and some more mid-tone, and that's about it. I think that's it. And I think my comparison is done. What happened to my frames? I don't know. What happened to my frames? I sincerely don't know what happened to my frames. If I turn this one off, what happens? But I think it's because that I have this mask available. The output does not show everything all at once. Let me do a test. If it's a deep problem with it, doesn't look like it, to be honest. I don't know why it does not show my frame. That's kind of disappointing in my opinion. I don't like it at this very moment, but I have to live with it. I don't know. It shows when you export the... Oh no, here you go. So if you get rid of the mask, the dropper, everything comes back to its place. So I can come back to the original image, which is, hang on a second, there you go. Now I can show you again side by side. So yeah, this is it on DXO FILMPACK with my DXO PHOTOLAB 8 workflow. I show you a little bit how does it work on luminosity mask, but you can do plenty more. You know, sky is the limit. I'm going to stop this particular video here, and I'm going to move on to FILMPACK, the standalone version, because it's a bit of both. So in this case, I'm going to use the images already has been given by DXO in their folder, DXO FILMPACK samples. In there, I'm going to use this particular image and double click it, and that should take me to the you know, main screen. Far left, you have all the stuff, export, I know everything that necessary. You can save it, you can save it as, you can compare. At this point, I think there is nothing used already. You can have side-by-side preview, original versus whatever used. which is fantastic. And when you're doing side by side though, you have two options. This, you know, we can I think it's more about left and right. Come on. Yeah, side by side, but it doesn't go side by side though. If I close it, what happens? Does it go side by side? I don't know. So you have this little either you can click the back and forth and it will change it automatically, and also it will give you some histories of each film, when it was produced, if it's still available, and what does it do in terms of the look and the history behind it. You can zoom in 20% or more if it's necessary. You can do one and one to see even more appropriately. You can do modify, like as usual, typical cropping, rotate, you know, the horizon control, for instance. I don't think it's necessary at this point. I don't see any reason for it. You can, you know, cancel. You can go to next image, previous or next image. For example, I'm going to go back to previous image just by that, but it allows you to save it if you want. And then you have the display. In the display, you have the height control, full screen. You have the navigation tool, you have the histogram. Histogram is always a welcoming addition, obviously, because it gives you an idea about what is going on with your image in terms of the RGB and luminance. You have obviously all the preset, the favorite, you can save them, the filter, you know, all the filters in the planet necessary. You can search it if you have something in your mind. So let's say, hey, today I'm thinking about the Kodak film look, Kodak Portra, for example. If I do there you go, Portra. And you have all the Kodak Portras available from 160 to 400. You know what I mean? So that's amazing. You have this time machine, obviously. I would be very curious to see the time machine though. For instance, if I click time machine, it will take you to this look. Let's see what it does to the image. Amazing. So there you go. And then you have new, if I understand correctly. For instance, if you selected some preset, for instance you went to, I don't know, color, and then selected something like that, and you did some changes. When you have to change, you have to go to customize, and you can select, go back and forth with the intensity. You can use grain or no grain, and more intense. You can do development. You have in the development, you have the split toning. I think it works better in the black and white, in my opinion. In the development, you can obviously control your exposure, more or less, and all that. And when you do so, make sure I apologize. When you do so, after doing that, you can come back to the preset and then create your own, for instance. Or you can click directly new and then create your own look and save it. Save it as a preset if you want to. So back to preset. Let's try it again. Let's go back to teal and orange. We have this as usual explanation by DXO. Then you have your customize. You can have the star button to save it, and then you can go to customize as usual, and then you can change all the stuff necessary in order to create your own look. You have this famous luminosity mask right there. And here the luminosity mask is a bit more different because you have this color red instead of black and white, but I think you can change it. So you can pick the range, select on the let's say just for the sake of on the hand, so it selected the whole person there, and you can be a bit more precise on your masking. It's just freaking awesome. You can invert it, you can add more new mask, you can do the mask range from 0 to 10. Really, like, it's just phenomenal. I am in love with this thing. So I'm going to turn off the dropper. I don't see any reason to keep the dropper, in my opinion. So I'm going to go back. So after that, it's pretty straightforward. I mean, to be honest with you, it's really not complicated at all. They made it so user-friendly. It's unbelievable. If I go to time machine, again, you have all the time machines as usual that I showed you in the DXO PHOTOLAB 8, I'm sorry, the new one. And you can select your own look and then customize it if you want, right there. I don't know if it works at this point because my computer is running so fast that it's all over the place. It takes some time to get used to. But that's my computer, that's not the software, I assure you that. Anyway, so overall, I showed you a little bit of how does it work in the DXO FILMPACK, and I showed you how my workflow in DXO PHOTOLAB 8 with the FILMPACK 7 combination. In my opinion, it's always nice to have everything in one place. Therefore, DXO PHOTOLAB 8 with that FILMPACK or any other DXO plugins available, because it just makes your life a lot easier. You can do everything all at once. However, it's always have an extra advantage if you have the standalone, because you have this different separate interface where you can do your own work if you want to. They all have your advantages. My personal choice would be staying exactly in the same location. I kind of like these orange buttons, which has nothing to do with the photography. It's just my thing. But other than that, and now the final question is that, is it amazing? It's absolutely amazing. There's another one in the market, if I remember. I think it's called Enhancer. I advise you to try that one out. They're not bad, but they miss a lot of extra tools and precisions from FILMPACK 7. Remember that the Enhancer is a plugin. It's not an independent software, where the FILMPACK, you can use it independently as standalone software, even if you have DXO PHOTOLAB or not. So that's my take on whole suite of combo of DXO PHOTOLAB 8 and FILMPACK 7. Highly recommend you to download both of it and then try it out for yourself. Link in the description below. Look after yourself. Happy photography, and bye bye.